Bwahahaha. My name is Amy 2 and welcome back to Talk to Transformer. Let's just start. Okay. Amy 2 was washing fruit. That's not how you write fruit. Amy 2 was washing fruit and grapes on the island of Ponca when a storm surge swept her into the ocean. She was only 10 and weighed about 100 pounds. What? 5 days later, a French ship found her and brought her back to Portugal to be reunited with her family. 5 days later? In 1996, a Portuguese fisherman rescued Maria from a beach in Vero to bring her back to her uncle's house. Her family and friends wanted to bring her back with them, but they didn't have the money. Eventually, she was adopted by a man living in North Carolina, and they were finally reunited. Maria's adoptive father, Pat, taught her how to play guitar and violin. Her mother thought she was cute and gave her clothes. You mean she was naked until then? That one was pretty good. Say, hey, you're cute. Here, I have some clothes. Amy 2 was washing fruit baskets at her home when she heard a scuffing noise coming from behind a van parked in front of her home. She told police she could see a woman standing between the van and her house with her hands in her pockets. When the woman turned around, the woman was white, aged in her mid-20s, wore a gray hoodie, glasses, and a dark scarf covering her hair. The woman said, "I'm sorry I'm late," was nodding and smiling, and had a smiling expression on her face. She was smiling and had a smiling expression on her face. She went to the front door of my house and opened it. I thought it was so weird. I was sweating really bad, thinking I just scared some kid. ... Moon was rewiring the teleporter circuits to make it easier to use, and there was no option to turn it off at the beginning of the game. But that's not all. The rock part of the teleport has an extra function, and that's giving you back your last few peaches that were lost on the descent. Go through the teleporter and you find an emergency signal in the teleporter. You pass it. You then pass the music box. You then return to the primary alarm, which sounds like it's playing music and has an on-screen squeak sound. The speed of the rock part of the teleport is increased. It goes so fast that at first you might think it's actually the other teleporter. I'm not sure if it was talking about music or if it was talking about like rock as in a rock. What is this? Moon was rewiring the teleporter circuits to make it easier to use. Oichi, whatever that is here. He had enough time to make one version of the gun completely, but it didn't work as intended. Trying to get their son back, the Sun family moved back to New York, and its spirits once again gathered in a golden barrier they designed specifically for their journey, under the understanding that the next time they became the Phoenix tribe, they would look into possessing a real gun. Eventually, the man who built the gun became overwhelmed with emotions after learning that his own actions led to the deaths of so many and had attempted to stop the family. The confusion and tears that ran down his face led to the owner of the weapon being recognized as Jorah and the gun. What is this? What kind of gibberish is this? It's not even real words. I think the computer just had a stroke. Moon was rewiring the teleporter's circuits to make it easier to use. In the time between, to replace the powers I used to make it more vulnerable. Time is short here, and I need to see if I can use all this momentum to my advantage. I set out a yet more advanced system of spider vision. Like how Dalinar recalled he felt myself drawn towards his eyes when I first opened them. Excuse me, what? I found a celestial glyph in the fabric of space, in between the twin suns of Nalthis. It showed it to me. It looked an awful lot like the symbol of Simic existence I'd once seen on Koholin rune bricks, but it was all wrong. I did not understand any of that. Slitter was writing down the entire day. Slitter was writing down the entire day on paper, then taking the top and bottom sheets and putting them in the bin. 3 o'clock, he told himself. Gotta be here and do this. He tucked the printer into his truck, stopped at the 24-hour Dole grocery store, and got changed. You got changed at the grocery store? Because this was this crazy November afternoon. Every other store was closed. So he went back home with something big on his mind. That he wasn't about to spend the night outside. That he was going to find the 100,000th person to kick out a tire. That he was about to crush that windshield of a failed car. Nothing in his heart told him that he should worry. He had already had ... Kicked out a tire, like Steve Austin. Sutter was writing in his journal when suddenly he felt that something was wrong. He called his men over, but they did not respond. Sleater, he's got 2 E's in there, cursed and yelled, "What is wrong with them? They are not a man, but a pile of bones. You cannot fall for this." According to temporary accounts, the investigation lasted several days. During that time, some of the skull fragments were carefully examined by Facsimile number 3's optometrist, who confirmed that none of the pieces matched the Medfield skull. The other 7 fragments were most likely taken from 3 different skulls. Several of the Medfield children told that lead investigator that 2 of the skulls in Facsimile number 1 did not look like the 4 heads. What? Big Boy and Buddy were working on their space base. Big Boy and Buddy were working on their nuclear space base while they were looking for Death Car. Just thinking about how good they are will make the heavens tremble. Shwa! The Milky Way flashed with a yellow light. Soon several buildings appeared in the space, making it look like a new space station. All the people of the planet just flew over there. And then, Buddy, there is something unusual. The distance and speed are higher than what we have thought of, but also different from what Buddy expected. Let's go, it seems like there is something strange. Yeah. That night, Yi Feng and Yan Tianfei were actually in the starry sky on ... What? Big Boy and Buddy were working on their nuclear space base, and they were having difficulty setting it up. In their nearly 30-year space travel together, the kids had to be careful with such things as brain surgery or delicate space flight instruments. That's how the 10-year-old Superman got his powers. What?
Oh my.
That is Kryptonite, the planet Krypton's metallic core. Its silver mantle and thick, dense carbon blanket. This is what Superman needs. You can see that in the shape of a tiny microdiamond. That's all there is. The microdiamond is what makes Superman's mysterious powers work. It's a key component in producing the energy his yellow skin and other legendary superpowers required. What? It turned into Superman for no reason. Big Boy and Buddy were working on their nuclear space base in Idaho. They developed a spacesuit to protect the pilot's head even against nuclear waste. Instead of killing pilots, the suit arrived, allowing them to live on the battle zone. The Brown Russian The Brown Russian was an ultra-secret spy organization founded by Stalin in 1943. You got a secret spy organization called the Brown Russian? What? The Brown Russian. What? Let me search this up. It's a food. More specifically, it's a drink. The Brown Russian was an ultra-secret spy organization founded by Stalin in 1943 in place of the OGPU. In the year before World War II, the BRS had 7 agents in Nazi Germany who had smuggled themselves into the United States. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Where they infiltrated Nazi scientists in the States? At universities and steal intelligence. Steal intelligence. At the Battle of Los Alamos, the BRS planned to shoot down a crashed German airplane. Oh, I see what the BRS stands for in this instance. Brown Russian Spies, or whatever. That's probably not what it means, but plan to shoot down a crashed German airplane. It's already down. It's already crashed at an old wind farm. The pilot, Dr. Victor Roman, Dr. Victor Roman. Is that a real person? I don't think so. That name seems too ridiculous. It seems like he was a real person, but I don't think in this case, the way it's... Charles Victor Roman, he was a physician. BRS, let's see. Bulk Reef Supply. Saltwater and reef aquarium supplies. So, in this case, it literally stands for Brown Russian Secret Spy Organization or whatever. Brown Russian Spies. What about OPGU? I mean OGPU. Oh yeah, it is. That's actually the thing. the secret police of the Soviet Union. From 1922 to 1934. So it wasn't even, like... But this doesn't exist. The Brown Russian... The Brown Russian, eh? It's a drink. It's a drink. The Brown Russian is a drink. It was not a spy organization founded by Stalin. But anyway, I'm gonna have to end this video here. If you liked it, please subscribe. And I'll see... So go look at my other videos, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.